Hello everyone, and welcome to my first Screencap redraw. I know I'm late to this trend. The Sailor Moon redraw challenge happened like 3 years ago, plus there was a revival, and I missed both. But that's okay, because today we're stepping into the Wayback Machine, and I am going to relive my youthful obsession with Sailor Moon. I don't draw fan art often anymore, and come to think of it, I don't think I've ever actually drawn Sailor Moon fan art. I chose this image because I felt it really embodied the style of Sailor Moon with gorgeous, melty backgrounds, the way everything just kind of glowed and sparkled. And I also tend to avoid drawing full figure drawings, so I thought that would also be an interesting challenge for today. Sailor Moon was the first anime I ever really fell in love with. I remember rushing home from school, even rushing home in the afternoons that I'd spend with my grandparents and flopping down on the bed and watching Cartoon Network. My favorite Sailor Scout was always Sailor Mars. She just seemed so cool and so confident, and I really wanted to be that when I was a kid. I definitely wasn't. I tried to get all of my friends into Sailor Moon, and none of them seemed as excited as I was. Oh well, their loss. My very first piece of fan merchandise were Sailor Moon light-up shoes. I felt like the coolest kid ever. 1, because my shoes were Sailor Moon. 2, they lit up. I mean, even as an adult, I still think light-up shoes are really cool. I remember going to Toys R Us with my dad and looking for all of the original Sailor Moon dolls. I'm pretty sure I think I had all of them, but I want to say that there was one that I could never find. Maybe it was Sailor Mercury, but I would look every time that we would go to the toy store. I had the Crescent Moon wand, which came with the silver crystal so that I could run around in my basement pretending that I was a Sailor Scout. I had the transformation brooch, and I know I held on to that Crescent Moon wand the longest, but sadly, all of those things have long since departed my life, courtesy of my mother's frequent and heinous garage sales, or her penchant for just throwing things in the trash. As the seasons progressed and I got a little bit older, I really grew attached to Hotaru, or Sailor Saturn. She was the weird kid. She, for some reason, collected a bunch of Tiffany lamps, which is not something that I have done. She had a bunch of weird collections. Nobody really understood her. She was very quiet and very introverted, and she didn't have a lot of friends, and that was precisely who I was at that point in my life. Granted, I'm not possessed by an evil entity that I know of, but I really related to her struggle with just finding her people, finding people who appreciated her and people who wanted her around, who wanted to be around her. Of course, because I watched Sailor Moon in the mid-90s, I was treated to the Deke version that was heavily censored for Cartoon Network. I know a lot of people have issue with that American dub. I have issues with the American dub now that I am an older adult. I mean, let's be real here. I don't think they fooled anybody into thinking that Haruka and Michiru were cousins, but there are just parts of it, how it was voice acted, how goofy and silly it was, that really just stick with me. And I do wish that I still had those VHS tapes. Did I mention I had the VHS tapes? There were 4 episodes per tape. I think I had 5 of them. They were hot pink and shiny. Those 2 have long since vanished from my collection of things. I know a lot of people hate it, but I would still really like to rewatch some of those episodes and relive some of those moments. As ridiculous as it was, I do really love British Luna. Why was she British? I don't know. Why did Usagi's best friend have a Boston accent? I don't know. There were just so many moments where I remember laughing the hardest. I think it's the final battle against Queen Beryl. All of the scouts are there, Tuxedo Mask is there, and his identity is finally revealed, and just the voice actress and her deadpan, "He is Tuxedo Mask, I don't believe it," priceless. I actually have that clip saved on TikTok. I love it so much. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of excited that Toonami Rewind is going to be a thing at the end of this month. I don't know how I'm gonna watch it because I don't own a television, and I don't know if Cartoon Network streams, But I am kind of excited to get the opportunity to rewatch the English dub, even though it was terrible. I just want to relive that little chunk of my childhood. And honestly, I have been watching the new dub of Sailor Moon on Hulu. They have the original series, which I am particularly fond of. And I was very excited when Sailor Moon Crystal was announced. Unfortunately, Sailor Moon Crystal didn't really hit the way I hoped it would. I was not a fan of the animation style. It didn't have that same silly, serious girl power element that the original had. It just wasn't what I was expected. I hear that season 3 they changed up the animation and it's a little bit more quote unquote classic in that humorous power friendship, girls can do anything kind of way. So maybe I'll give Crystal another chance. In the meantime, I am about halfway through season 1 of the original anime, and Malachite has just appeared on scene. I remember being so ridiculously upset when he died. Oh, spoilers, I guess, for a 30-year-old anime. I was so upset. I felt so bad. Can we just talk about the Sailor Moon villains for a minute? They were also some of the coolest characters I had seen on television. I love that all of the costumes from the villains to the superheroes are all based in actual fashion. I'm not much of a fashion bug. I would like to be, I think, just to feel good about the things that I own. But the fashion in Sailor Moon is also so iconic. I'm pretty jealous of the people who get to go to the Sailor Moon cafes and events in Tokyo. I really want to go. I want to go to a Sailor Moon cafe so bad. I don't even care if the food sucks. I just want to go. I feel like Sailor Moon really accomplished getting the message across that not only can girls do and be anything, but anyone can do and be anything. Whether you're a girl, a boy, anything in between, the important things are confidence in yourself and the power of friendship. It doesn't matter if you're a super scared little crybaby. It doesn't matter if you are tall and look like you want to fight but are secretly just in love with cooking. It doesn't matter if you're a bookworm. Everyone has something that they can contribute, something that they are good at, something that makes them who they are and makes them a strong person. And as a team, there's nothing that you can't face together. I also had the Sailor Moon OST soundtrack. I don't know who decided the theme music and really all of the music for Sailor Moon needed to go that hard. Please bring back the hard-hitting guitars. Bring back the drums. And I can't find it anywhere except for YouTube, but the one battle song, oh my god, what is it? Oh, Carry On. That's the name of the song. No, it's not. Oh my god, what's the other song? She's Got the Power. I can't play any of this for you. I don't know who even wrote this song, She's Got the Power, but it did not need to go this hard. I'm very happy that it did. I think Sailor Moon was really the turning point for me between girly pop and rock and roll. And it is the perfect late 80s, early 90s, battle ballad. I don't know, it's so good. Sadly, the only place that I can find anything from the Sailor Moon TV show is on YouTube. Of course, one of the major perks of being an adult is that I have adult money and I can do with that whatever I want. I got my iPod case from Casetify when they had their Sailor Moon collaboration. They also came out with one that was the transformation brooch. I could only really justify spending that much money on an iPod case once. I definitely don't need to collect all of the Sailor Moon iPod cases. That's a little bit extreme. The two brooches I have are from a fandom store that used to be in my local mall. They are from the miniature tablet line, which it's just a fancy keychain that you can put candy in. I have two. I have the Star Locket that doesn't play music, but the inside does turn. It's got the moon. And I have got the Cosmic Heart Compact. Both of them are still in pretty good condition. The inside of the Cosmic Heart Compact is kind of loose. It's just a little plastic heart that covers the space where you're supposed to put the candy. I use both of these as pill containers. I might have chronic headaches, but I'm a magical girl with chronic headaches. Plus they're really cute and discreet. Who's gonna think that I've got pills in this? I mean, probably everybody now that I have told the internet. I do wish I could find some more of those. Back when I bought the first one, they had quite a few, including the original brooch. Unfortunately, they are not cheap either. I think they were like $13 or $14. It was something ridiculous. Back in those days, we didn't have Sailor Moon merch, or at least not widely available Sailor Moon merch. I did also see that they came out with a Sailor Moon makeup line, which I also did not purchase, but I wanted to because replicas are really expensive. Honestly, I don't have anywhere to put this stuff, and I don't need it. I do have a Sailor Saturn pop, which is pretty cool. I got that for my birthday one year. I do kind of wish I had the other Sailor Scouts though. I don't know. Maybe one day I will revive my Sailor Moon collection. It's also so cool to see that there are so many other people who also love Sailor Moon and are still very much into it. Well, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love talking about Sailor Moon and my other favorite things. I think for the next screen draw recap, I might do something from Daria or iZombie. I just recently started rewatching iZombie from the beginning, and it's just such a fun show. You can... What a combination of genres. But hey, those are basically the two sides of my personality coming together in one video. Did you grow up watching the Deke version of Sailor Moon? And who is your favorite Sailor Scout? Let me know, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out, Sailor Scouts.